So where was I on 9/11? I kind of remember it differently from other people. Other people say we're in first grade, but for some particular reason I remember being in class with my kindergarten teacher. Now, she could have been substituting that day. I don't know what the situation could have been, but I remember watching a movie in that class and her assistant coming in and saying the World Trade Center was hit. Now, me being in first grade or kindergarten, I'm gonna have no clue what the World Trade Center is or what the Twin Towers is. I'm sitting there watching a movie in first grade, so I have no idea what that means. Miss Ortman, which was that teacher substituting or whatever grade I was in at that time, I could just remember the image in my head. I don't remember what grade I was in exactly. I just remember as how it happened. None of the students even knew what was going on. Just a couple teachers came in and tell that teacher what was going on. Came in, said the World Trade Center was hit. She seemed concerned, but we didn't think nothing of it. So she came back in and said a second plane has went into the World Trade Center. And she seemed even more concerned, and like I said, we have no clue what the World Trade Center was. I live in Pennsylvania, so it's not like we had any reason to be taught it. We never were. Until that day, I didn't know what the World Trade Center was. I didn't think really anybody around that age would have, but after I found out, it stuck with me the rest of my life. So, as we're sitting there throughout the day, the teacher's checking her phone calls here and there, and leaves the room for a little bit and comes back in. I'm not sure if she's going out of the room to look at another TV, saying the teacher's lounge or something like that. But probably a little bit later, the teacher comes back in and says the first tower has collapsed. And that's when Miss Ortman pretty much couldn't hold it together anymore. And that's when everyone started feeling kind of uncomfortable, like what's going on with our teacher, or what's going on. Then it's pretty much all that happened at school. By the time that happened, we were just getting ready to leave because some people were picked up by their parents. I wasn't actually picked up by my parents. So I got home that day and remember watching on TV and watching the second plane hit and watching both towers collapse. I had no clue what was going on, but it looked like something out of a movie. So my parents explained it to me and scared me because I didn't know what was going on. But all I know is looking at all those firefighters run into that building, and now those buildings have collapsed. I mean, looking back at it now, it's a tragedy, but looking back at it then, I probably didn't quite process it right. But so later that night, I remember watching all those bright lights after the towers collapse and just looking through the rubble of the towers to try to recover people. It kind of reminded me for some reason of when there was a coal mining accident in West Virginia. So later that night, I remember watching TV, and there's all those playbacks and everything like that. It's showing everything that's going on. There's new videos and new photos coming in, so we're watching those on news report as they're coming in. But as well, we're watching the search and rescue effort after the towers had collapsed. So we're just watching that and hoping for the best that everybody is safe. I'm watching all the search dogs look for everybody, and I remember the next couple days it showed a lot of fire departments, people waiting on people to come home from the fire departments, loved ones at the fire departments. And that day 343 of those loved ones didn't have anybody come home. That's all I know. The biggest tragedy in history, in my opinion, and I will never be the same after I fully process 9/11, how tragic it really was. Nobody will probably ever know what exactly 100% happened, but I know this world will never be the same because of it. So a small part of what I remember is sometime between when the second tower was hit and the first tower collapsed, I remember a teacher coming in and saying people are jumping. Now, like I said, I'm a clueless first grader. Literally had no clue what she was talking about, but little did I know that she meant people were literally jumping out of the buildings because they didn't want to get burned. Now the facts today have proven that approximately 200 people jumped to their death that day. Now, out of 200 of those people, could any of them survived? No one will ever know now, but they chose that fate for themselves. They didn't want to go through possibly burning. I'm not going to be one to judge them. I wasn't in that situation. Now at the time at 9/11, I was super young. So at that time, after it happened, a lot of people were signing up for the Army. A lot of people signed up for the SEALs, the Marines. They knew it was go time. They knew it was war time. I wanted to do something too, but I was way too young to do anything. Later on in life, probably about when I was 13 or 14 years old, I became a firefighter, and that was my way of serving, not specifically for the people to give back for 9/11, but to serve, period. I felt like I was meant to be a firefighter. I felt like I was meant to help people, so that's why I went and did that, and I enjoyed it while the time I did it, but I no longer do it. So that's my story of where I was on 9/11. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'd like to see any response videos. If you want to post them on your channel, please let me know. I will go watch them. I would be honored to do that. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and take this 9/11, the 15th anniversary, and really look back on what we really lost that day.